Ben Garratt is a very skilled tiny house builder. The two of us actually met at a Burning Man event in New Zealand, and then later on went on to co-host tiny house building workshops together in both Canada and New Zealand. Today we've travelled to just north of Victoria on Vancouver Island to visit one of his latest very special build projects. Hey Ben, how's it going, mate?
Awesome, Bryce.
Good to see you. Yeah, great. It is incredible to be checking out this tiny house. This is one that you've built, isn't it?
It is. I built it this time last year, and then now it's found its second and final resting place for the family to live. I've always done building, and that took me to natural building, and then that seemed to take me to tiny houses. When we think natural building, we think clay and earth and everything that's really heavy, thermal mass. So for me, a natural tiny house is air quality that matches the outside, inside. Breathable walls, ideally, so that the house can breathe with us. And no glues, adhesives, spray foams. So the most natural insulation that we can find, and then natural timbers that ideally haven't gone through a treatment process. And I like building tiny houses for just the size of the project. I love the design portion with the clients. And then it's brought to fruition so quickly, 3 months and we're done and someone's got a home that they're happily living in. So it's super nice.
It looks like a pretty big house, actually.
It's 30 feet by 10. There's 2 bedrooms in the loft, so we're talking 9 feet by another 12 feet in the loft. 350, 400 square feet.
And the owners have obviously found a really nice parking spot for this one.
Yeah, it's great here. I mean, we've got a cedar fir forest all around. Yeah, it's beautiful.
And I can see that they're actually sitting in for the long haul as well, because they've taken the wheels off the tiny house.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's a good thing to do with tiny houses. You get the wheels out of the sun, so they're not going to break down. You're not going to end up with a flat spot if they're resting on the wheels. So you can pack them up and put them away, and they'll last forever.
So as a tiny house builder, one of the things that you're really well known for is building tiny, healthy homes. So homes that are non-toxic, eco-friendly. How much of that ethos actually went into building this project?
It drove the project, I guess, the healthy component of this one in particular. Healthy being that we've got air quality that matches inside and outside, which would be my number one. It's 2x6 insulation, R22, with high performance vapor barriers. So we've got a breathable or a hygroscopic wall system. So the whole house is breathing with us.
What have you actually used to construct this with?
The exterior is all cedar. So we've just got lap siding here and then the cedar shingles at the top, and then a painted cedar belly band, which is where all of our services are coming through. It also gives opportunity for the awnings to get mounted from, breaks up the look of the house.
So one of the unique challenges that you've had in building this house is that it was actually built for a family of 4, wasn't it?
Yeah, designed for the family in mind. So they have a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. So we've got 2 separate bedrooms upstairs, a really cute room for the kids, and then also we've got an office at the back so the parents can have some quiet space to do their work. But yeah, it was a challenge within this footprint for sure, for a family of 4. But I think we did it. They're pretty happy.
Yeah, excellent. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing how you've actually managed to achieve that inside.
Sure, come on in.
Let's have a look. Oh, wow. This is such a nice and open space to walk into in the house.
Yeah, it's nice. This wood cabin kind of feeling. It's all finished in hemp oil, so we've got that kind of, it still even smells a little hempy now, which I love.
So this is the lounge area that we're in right now.
Yep, we've got a seat down here with plenty of storage underneath it. Fireplace, which they ended up going with the propane one. Just for ease of use, they're able to put it on a thermostat. They still got that fire look, but again, they've got these kids, so they didn't want to have to deal with a scorching hot fireplace when it's off. It also gives them room to put some more storage above instead of having clearance from a chimney up. So there was a whole bunch of reasons that they ended up going with propane.
I'm sure they'd be glad for having this clothes drying rack up here in the winter.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it is BC, so it's mostly indoor time in winter.
And then the kitchen here is beautiful. Look at this.
Yeah, there's oak countertops, a black granite sink, and then all propane appliances, and all to be off-grid. Basically all propane hot water, propane cooking, propane fridge, propane fireplace.
Right.
And then all of the lighting and everything's low voltage.
And setting up a tiny house to be off-grid like that, the major benefit is that it makes it a lot easier to find a suitable parking space.
For sure. You're just not able to get that kind of power usually where people want to park tiny houses, which is somewhere in the woods, quiet. So if we can try and design it that the maximum that they really need is sort of 15 amps or just a regular lead, it also cuts the cost down of getting an electrician to run a power feed from a house. Yeah, I like keeping the power low. Propane's easy enough to deal with. So.
And then what's further back here?
It's just the corridor to the office and the bathroom. So we've got the fridge back there, just fit neatly under the stairs. We managed to hide it a little bit with the pine T&G.
Yeah, you've actually hidden that one extremely well.
Yeah, it just fit in. Fit in. And then we've got more kitchen storage with mason jars there, which also sort of closes off the kitchen oven space. And then we've got the bathroom and the office. Well, come have a look.
Wow.
Nice, huh?
This actually has to be one of the nicer tiny house bathrooms I've seen so far.
It's definitely my favourite. I mean, it's got all the elements that I personally like. Composting toilet or a human manure bucket toilet. A shower that has a waterproofed area for the kids if they need to have a bath. Some nice sort of natural stones, sort of bringing that natural sort of element into the house still. And then the sink, of course, is they picked that up in Switzerland and brought it back because they just loved it. And then I always do this storage behind the mirror, which is for a tiny house perfect. We've got a wall space between the kitchen and the bathroom anyways, so
right,
just using that space is perfect.
Yeah, very clever. And then there's the office just over here.
Yep, just through here. I've been putting mirrors on either side of the doors. This is basically their closet space / office, so all of their clothes are behind there. It gives the illusion of space, but also it's their change room. And there's a mirror on the other side too, so if this door is closed, you still have the feeling that the house keeps going forever, you know.
And then just a really lovely place to work in here.
Yeah, a cute little office space.
And it's nice to see a space that's a bit lived in as well, isn't it? You can see that it's obviously getting really good use.
Totally. No, I think it's great that they're well moved in, and even with 2 kids, the place still looks great. Doesn't feel too cluttered. You know, they're obviously book lovers, and trying to keep that up in a tiny house takes some skill, I think.
And then the office actually expands into this gorgeous deck area as well.
Yeah, so the whole office just feels like, it feels double the size. You know?
Yeah.
They're right up at ceiling height, which is just about your head height.
Yeah, they can just squeeze through there.
Yeah, whereas usually the lofts I'm putting in at 6'6", which suits most people.
And should we check out the bedrooms upstairs?
Let's do it.
So the loft here in this house definitely extends out quite a bit longer, doesn't it?
It does. That's just to get the 2 bedrooms in upstairs. We sort of terminated at the kitchen, so as you enter the great room, you've got this big feeling living room and stuff, but this just had to happen to fit 2 bedrooms in. And
interestingly enough as well, you've actually closed off all of the loft area as well.
Yeah, they wanted them to be completely separate spaces.
Good thinking.
Come on up.
This is great! What a cool little room. You know, when I was a kid, I would have been absolutely thrilled to bits with this.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, they've got the baby brother and the big sister, so I'd say that it'll probably take them till they're maybe 10 years old before they maybe grow out of it. But I guess that's how the parents have planned it for the room. What we've got in here as well is these lights, which are mostly good for the kids' room or the bedrooms. So you can turn them off, or you just can have a night light. So I guess if you're reading them a story, you can have it there. If you need it a little dimmer, you can just hold your finger down and it dims. Or turn it off altogether. And the other thing that we did was we put in these heat recovery ventilators so that both bedrooms have got nice fresh air breathing in and out day and night, especially in winter. So the air quality in this tiny little space can stay as good as the air quality outside with the windows closed.
So for a young family, this kind of setup is really perfect, isn't it? Because you're able to give the kids their own private space. You're able to shut the door with well-insulated surroundings so that you can have a little bit of peace and quiet when you need it. But the sleeping parents are right next door as well.
Totally. And that was one of the things of keeping everyone upstairs, and then having downstairs as a completely separate area.
Well, should we go check out Mum and Dad's room?
Sure, after you.
This is another super nice room. And of course there is the obligatory skylight above the bed.
Yeah, that was definitely in the design criteria, and I totally get it now. I used to be a little bit anti-skylight for the efficiency factor and the heating up of rooms, but there's really nothing like just laying in bed and looking up at the stars.
Yeah, that's so true. So what was the actual process of designing and building this house like? What are some of the things that you're most proud of in this design?
I'd say just the use of space, or creating so many spaces in something. I mean, 30 foot sounds big, but we've got 3 rooms in here. 4 rooms if you include the bathroom, but it still feels big. You know, the upstairs spaces do their job, which is for sleeping and for the kids playing and whatever. They're happy up there. It's like a cubby house. They've still got their office space, bathroom. Everything feels big in here. It's definitely helped by the fact that it was 10 foot wide. That was a decision that was made pretty early, partly because we wanted more insulation so that the house can be more efficient, but also that extra foot that it gives you after a 2x6 wall makes all the difference in the world to get stairs, a corridor, and still a kitchen down this part of the building. So yeah, I think it came together pretty easily too. The clients were amazing. I was talking mostly via email and Skype to them in Switzerland, and this was the house that they're moving to BC to live in. So just all of that build up and stuff was super exciting and challenging, and yeah, it's really nice to come back here and see the place lived in, and it's really great.
Well, there's no question about it. You've really done an exceptional job on this build project. I can see how much time, love, and skill has gone into this build. You're obviously very good at what you do. So thank you so much for sharing this project with me.
Cheers, Bryce.
Designing a tiny house for a young family with 2 kids is no easy task, but I feel that Ben has definitely risen to the challenge in this project. It's fantastic to see a house that is so well lived in, and it's pretty clear to me that the family have found a wonderful home in this place.